Good afternoon, Mikel.
Hello.
I was just at open training just now. It looks like good news. Riccardo Calafiori, Piero Hincapié back on the training pitch. Are they ready for Sunday?
Yeah, we have still another training session, so we'll see tomorrow after that to assess everybody and make the decision first of all in the squad.
No fresh injury worries from the Inter game?
No, after Inter we had no issues reported.
Just on a selection headache that you might have now, and a welcome one, I'm guessing, with Gabriel Jesus and Victor Gyökeres and the returning Kai Havertz. It's something that you wanted maybe from the start of this season, isn't it?
Yes, we were waiting for that, and with the amount of games that are coming up, they're all going to have opportunities and minutes, obviously, so great to have them back, and especially to have them in good form.
I've asked you this before about Victor, actually, in that he had to start the season effectively without Jesus and Kai Havertz. Now that they're back, how much do you think it's not going to just help Arsenal, but help him as well?
Yeah, well, he started without a pre-season as well, and a lot of minutes and a lot of responsibility on him. And now the fact that we have other options as well, I think is something really positive, especially for the squad. And you could see the other day, the guy scoring 2 goals, Victor coming in and making an impact to win the game.
Sunday we'll see you come up against Manchester United and Michael Carrick. How much of a tougher proposition do you think that game is compared to maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, well, obviously Michael coming in is going to bring new ideas. Always the intensity rises up. You could see in the derby in Manchester the kind of behaviours and the game that they played. So yeah, we expect a really tough match. We will adapt to that for sure. But we are at home and we know how important that game is for us.
Can I just ask you about Ethan Ranieri? We know he's out in Marseille. It looks like it is going to be an agreed deal with Marseille for the rest of the season. From your perspective, how hard a decision was it, and what were the key factors behind it?
Yeah, well, I think the deal is quite close, but yeah, it's something that we constantly have to be monitoring. I think the talented young players that we have, they need minutes, and in this case, Ethan wasn't having enough minutes, and the last thing that we want is cut his development, because he's such a talent and someone that loves and breathes football. That's his life. And after having a discussion with him, with his father, the agent, and the club, we decided that the best thing to do it was to leave and go on loan, and then we have to pick the right place. And having all the options, understanding the experience that we had in Marseille as well with Willy, the fact that Roberto is there and he's an incredible development of young talent, and he's a really courageous manager in the way he plays, by the way he plays with young talent as well, and he has a big track record about that. And I think it fits the way of playing for the qualities that we want to see for Ethan. So it's going to be a great experience for him.
Mikel, you would have been a teenager, I think, when the Arsenal-Manchester United rivalry was its absolute fever pitch back in the late 90s, early 2000s. How big an impact did that rivalry have on you, and did it make you think, I want to be part of the Premier League because of that particular rivalry that was happening then?
Yeah, and you guys sell it so well, especially in Spain. You could see the tension and the rivalry and those individual battles that they were there as well, that make the game really, really special. So yeah, obviously 2 massive clubs that they've been fighting at the highest level for so many years, and yeah, we want to try to have the best possible game to win it.
It has thrown up so many incredible moments, some incredible rivalries as well, that fixture. Does one stand out for you? What was your first memory of it, or your most memorable one back from then?
I don't know, there are a lot, but obviously just before kickoff as well, a lot of the things that were going on, and that's pricing up the tension, and then obviously the atmosphere in the stadium. But yeah, some incredible players as well on that era as well, that they've been absolutely legends of this league. So that's what it makes it so exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jake from the Premier League.
Hi, on Sunday then, against Manchester United, how different a side do you think you face from what you saw in the derby compared to perhaps before Michael Carrick took charge?
We don't know. Every game is different. Obviously, at the end, the individuals are the ones that make the difference, or the ones that make the game in a certain way. And we're going to try to be ourselves, be very dominant like we always want to be, impose the game that we want to play, and regardless of what they want to do, we want to take the game in the areas that are very good for us.
And you mentioned the other 2 strikers who are now back to partner Victor Gyökeres. Do you think that gives you confidence that he can get back to the form that he showed as to why you wanted to sign him in the first place, in front of goal?
Yeah, it's a lot of things that have to happen for consistently being able to produce those performances and numbers, but we have different relationships around him as well, because Kai is a player that can play in the two attacking midfield positions, so we can vary in relation to the opponents, their behavior, and the game that we want to play, so that's very good.
And just lastly, you touched on it earlier, you came to a club that you knew, like Michael Carrick has done. When you arrived in the first place, does it, I don't want to say give you a head start, but does it make the sort of settling in period easier, or is there more pressure on you?
I don't know. First of all, it's the feeling that I had towards the club, because I played here, and that's unique. That brings something extra. And the fact that you know a lot of people, in my opinion, is something very beneficial, and understanding the history of the club from the inside. And then you have to acclimatize and adapt to the circumstances and start your job.
Thank you.
Tom? Hi Mikel, there's some data that's come out that suggests that you're playing currently with the highest defensive line in the league, and you're playing against the lowest defensive lines in the league. Do you think the Premier League is almost boiling down to a point that the team that wins the league is the one that's best equipped to break down these low blocks?
Well, there is one of the weapons that is necessary, because a lot of teams are doing that, but as well we can see more and more the man-to-man game that is conquering not only the Premier League but Europe, I think, as well. So you need to dominate all the phases in the game if you want to have the chance to win major trophies.
We've seen now you scored 10 goals against Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich across those three massive European games. And you see the difference between European and domestic football. How different do you have to set up to prepare for each competition now?
Yeah, it is very different. First of all, sometimes because the information that and the time that you have to prepare those games, and when you don't know them that much, it is a bit different. Then the rules change a little bit in the way the games are managed as well. And yeah, there is always an element of you are in or out, you need the points, you don't. So the results as well and how teams behave can change. But yeah, so far it's been good.
James Athletic.
Hi Mikel, I just want to ask you about Kai. He's obviously been back with the group for a few weeks now, but we've not seen him yet, I think, in the Premier League or the Champions League. Can you let us know your assessment of kind of where he is in his rehab and how happy you are with his progress so far?
Well, he's very close. Obviously, he's been out for a long time, almost a year, for different reasons. And now we have to be very smart in the manner that we manage that load, the minutes. And I'm sure in the next few weeks he's going to play minutes. I cannot tell you in which competition, because that will depend as well on the game context. And it's a context that is positive to throw him in or not with his qualities. And yeah, it's great that we have him. We can use him in different positions. We will see him in different positions. And we are really happy to have him.
And is the aim really to take your time to make sure that when you enter the decisive period of the season, March, April, May, that you've got Kai fit and firing at that point?
Yes, because after a long-term injury, it's not only the period that you come in, it's what happens in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And we want to maintain that and manage that really well, so after we can creep it up, as you said, when all the big games are coming up, and we have make sure that everybody is in the right mind and physically at the highest level.
James, CBS.
Hi, Mikel. I know you're not a big social media user, but maybe you're aware of the nerves and the tension that's on there among the Arsenal fan base, and I think many of us would say that's drifting into the stadium a little bit. You know, you're top of the Champions League, not 7 points clear in the Premier League. What would be your message to supporters to sort of try to calm the nerves?
It's not about calming, it's about continuing to do what we are doing really well and try to evolve every single day to be better. So from their side is continue doing what they do in the stadium, create more energy, more positiveness around the games in each actions, and if we do that and we create that kind of a scenario, we're going to make it more and more difficult to the opponent, and that's going to help us to win more games.
Pep Guardiola's just said you're the best team in the world. Do you agree?
I don't know. I think we are the team that wants to be constantly better, that we're doing a lot of things right, but we are far from perfect. And our only aim is to sustain the level that we are doing, but especially in certain areas try to improve again.
James is here.
Mikel, whenever you play against United, you talk a lot about transition, how dangerous they are in transition. Is that where you think the game will be won and lost?
It's one of the areas. I mean, they are so good in a lot of departments. It's clear that when that team has a space to run and certain players to activate those runs, they become lethal. And you saw that a few days ago in Manchester. But they have a lot of attributes to cause you problems. But as well, like every team, they have their weaknesses as well.
I mean, in terms of that transition play, are they the best in the league at that, do you think?
I don't know. Historically, there's always been something very, very linked to that, and the profile of players that they always have, and certain individuals that are so good at activating those spaces as well. But yeah, I don't know the stat exactly, but for sure they are one of the best.
Matt from the Standard.
Hi, Mikel. Ask about Calafiori. He's obviously so unique in the positions he takes up, particularly in attack. How much has the balance of the team sort of been impacted by missing those specific qualities?
We're trying to adapt to the qualities of our players, and certain players give us more dynamism and more options in terms of the spaces that they can occupy and where they are comfortable and how they can link between them. And others are probably more static and more fixed and more positional. And Ricky's quality is that he can be very fluent in many spaces.
And just one on Bukayo. I think it's 12 matches without a goal, which is the joint longest of his career at Arsenal. What do you sort of put that down to?
Well, that's a possibility always, but the impact that he has in games around all the attacking process for us, and the attraction that he has in the opponents as well, open up spaces for other players. We want him obviously scoring and assisting in every match, and that has to be the aim at the level that he has. So we keep working on that.
Okay, last couple in the other line. Charles from goal.
Hi, Miguel. Just going back to Kai quickly. I remember it was about a year ago you called him like a genetic powerhouse because he's so used to playing and he's stayed fit so much in his career. Do you think sort of mentally after such a long time out it's going to be quite difficult for him to kind of trust his body when he does get back? Is that something he's going to have to work on?
I don't think so, because he's a player that has an unbelievable track record, and what happened, okay, it happened, and you have to go through that in your career at least once. You know, he's gone through that period that has enabled him as well to learn more about the game, about his body, and probably about how much he loves playing and how difficult is his life when football is not a big part of that. And he looks really, really hungry, and I'm sure we're going to see a very good version of Kai.
Just quickly on Ethan, at a similar age in your career, you took a big move leaving Barcelona to go to France on loan. The experience that you spoke very fondly of, have you sort of used that and spoken to Ethan about that? Think that this time he spends there won't just be good for him on the pitch, but off it as well in terms of a learning experience?
Yes, and not only me, but a lot of players that they have these kind of situations, and just understanding how he's going to feel, because when they talk about the opportunity and the clubs that are interested in you to go, the first thing is excitement. You are willing to play, you speak to the manager, he's very keen on you, and you're going to play at the weekend, and you're going to start a lot of games, and this is all very good. But one day you have to go, okay, pack your bags, this is the flight tickets, and you have to go to Marseille. Whoa, wait. And that is fear, is insecurity, is getting out of a place that has been really comfortable for him, around his family. But then this is the thing. At the end, you have to be thrown there into the Sharks in an incredible football culture and atmosphere and club, and it's going to make him so much good.
Phil from here.
Hi, Mikel. Just going back to that comment from Pep earlier about Arsenal being the best team in the world. Appreciate you probably don't want to say we are the best team in the world, but is it a big compliment to come from someone like him, because you know he was your relationships were documented? So just to hear that, it must be give you a bit of a buzz.
It's always much better to hear positive things about your team and the work that you are doing, but obviously that's a big word, especially because, in my opinion, to be related to that, you have to win a lot of things, and we haven't. But we certainly have the purpose to be the best version that we can be every single day, and we're not going to stop till we achieve that.
And just one on Gary Jesus. Obviously, he played so well the other night. Is it difficult to leave someone like that out of the team when he scores 2 goals, plays so well, obviously with United, to come on Sunday?
Well, it's exactly what you want from your strikers, the same that Victor did. But at the end, you have to pick what you think is the best team to start against a different opposition, a different context, and then how you're going to finish the game as well. So tomorrow evening or the morning of the match, we will decide that.